Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AINA RAHMAN. I will explain about the education policy and the strength of this policy. Dasar Pemantapan Bahasa Malaysia memperkukuhkan bahasa Inggeris was implemented in 2010 and applied in school, where this policy is to ensure that students can understand and be proficient in using both languages. On the other hand, strengthening English can help the student to explore knowledge more deeply and improve their competition at the international level. English now is widely used in learning at school, especially for the science and mathematics subject, to help the student understand and be proficient in English. Not only at the school level, but English also used at the university level, where they fully use English in learning and communicating, except for the Islamic education subject.
Assalamualaikum. My name is HASLINDA binti JALIL and my matric number is 2023423882. Here I am presenting about the policy problem of Mbmmbi. After doing my research, I found three main problems regarding the implementation of this policy. The first problem is the PPSMI policy failure. The teaching and learning policy of science and mathematics in English was officially implemented in the 2003 school season with the piloting of all Year 1 students in primary school as well as Form 1 and Form 6 in secondary school. Nevertheless, the implementation of PPSMI policy received a negative result, even though mastery of the English language is seen as an important factor in bringing the country to be able to compete with the workforce at the international level. Most students understand things taught in Bahasa Melayu more easily. This can be summed up by saying that the presence of PPSMI policy has affected the potential of students in the mastery of mathematics and science subject because they also find it difficult to understand the concept of the learning because it is in English. Dr. SOFEA, a Malay language expert, said English proficiency should be improved through English subject, such as by increasing lesson time, increasing training for teachers, and improving existing teaching and learning modules, and the government shouldn't repeat the policy that has already proven to be a failure. The second problem is mathematics and science results affected. Junaidi and Fuad 2010 state that the level of English proficiency among students, especially those who are in rural areas, are still low. The result of the UPSR for the first cohort showed a less consistent performance in that student who got an A grade for the science subject increased by 0.3%. The difference in UPSR achievement between school in the city and rural school is getting more and more significant. Moreover, the report from the Trends in Mathematics Science Study (TIMSS) and the Program for International Student Assessment (PISA) found that in 2011, mathematics was in 26th place, while science was in 32nd place. Johari, Noor, and Mio 2006 state that students face problems in learning mathematics and science due to the problem of the English communication and the low level of English proficiency among the students themselves. Last but not least is lack of mastery of English among teachers. The PPSMI policy also take into account the mastery of English for teachers. Teachers who are at an excellent or good level are around 25%, although teachers play a very important role in the implementation of this policy. The Malaysian Ministry of Education found that only a small proportion of teachers can teach science and mathematics entirely in English, and the rest prefer to use bilingualism in the teaching and learning process. Yahya 2012 also state that the average and weak English proficiency among teachers make it difficult for teachers to convey knowledge to students. Most teachers have been exposed to science and mathematics terms in Bahasa Malaysia, and they face problems when both subjects are taught in English. Thus, it is clear that the policy cannot be implemented successfully. Alright, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, HASLINDA. Before I continue, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is AMNI binti RAHIM, and I would like to explain about the objective of MBMMBI. The first objective of MBMMBI is upholding the Malay language. As we know, Bahasa Melayu or Malay language has been declared as the national and official language in Malaysia. So the reason government amend this policy to make sure all students can speak Malay fluently and as symbolized national identity and fostering unity among Malaysia who has various races. The initiative that the Ministry of Education Malaysia has made is change the English language to the Malay language for the subject science and mathematics. The second objective is strengthening the English language. The main objective is to improve student communication and writing skill and enabling to explore of various knowledge as well as increasing competition at the national and international level. English is also an international communication language that needs to be mastered well and effectively. This can give a big opportunity for the future career, study and social connections. The initiative that Ministry of Education do is English lesson will be taught 4 to 5 times a week. The last objective is bilingual proficiency. It's the ability to use 2 or more language proficiency. Government introduced bilingual Malay and English language as an instruction for the teaching science and mathematics subject in national and secondary school. So students can learn and understand both language as well as they can improve their communication and writing skills. This is first step Ministry of Education to help students to fluent English and Malay language. By striking a balance between language, Malaysia can continue to thrive as a diverse and harmonious nation. That's all from me.
Thank you, presenter. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is binti NORAZMAN, and now I would like to proceed to explain about strategies of MBMMBI. The first strategy is Bahasa Melayu as a medium of communication in education. Using Bahasa Melayu as a medium of instruction for science and mathematics in primary and secondary schools, which indirectly give potential to improve in teaching and learning in Bahasa Melayu. This strategy can be seen as one of the efforts from the ministry to put Bahasa Melayu as a solid platform in education, such as KSSR implemented through PDP as to focus on language skills, also improved communication in primary schools. The second strategy is the English curriculum needs to be changed. Strengthening English means enhancing English language abilities with the help of good quality curriculum and standard of materials for the subject of English and increasing credit hours for English. This requires teachers and the appropriate standard of materials needed for the course to be enforced, such as OPS English implemented to give stages to school band 3 to 6 as for evaluation skills level of students in secondary schools. The next strategy is bilingual proficiency. For preschool to post-secondary school, language proficiency must be at least operationally proficient in Bahasa Melayu and English. Higher education is concerned with proficiency in Bahasa Melayu and English and has also been encouraged to learn one additional global language such as Mandarin. For instance, implementation of Linus Program 2.0, Literasi Bahasa Melayu, Numerasi dan Literasi Bahasa Inggeris with a concern to guide Linus students to master basic reading skills and writing through various learning methods.
The first factor when implementing the policy of dasar memartabatkan bahasa Malaysia memperkukuhkan bahasa Inggeris is to be able to produce students who are highly confident and knowledgeable. Through this policy, we can produce students who can compete and continue their study at the international level. Science and mathematics are subjects where the students will use the bilingual method in learning. The next strength is to support Malay as the national language and lingua franca as this language is a national language and formal language. Malay language at one time was one of the languages used in trade and education activities. The last strength is to create a high-quality teacher that is proficient in English. There are many programs provided by this policy for the English teacher. The teachers can improve their professionalism and align the skill with the development of national education. For example, training trainers for the English language lecturers in Institute of Teachers Education. For the IPG lecturers, certificate in the practice of English language teaching for the non-English option teachers and oral proficiency English for the secondary school to improve speaking and communication skills among the Form 1 students in Band 3 to 5 at school. Thank you.
My name is FARISHA binti HAMZAH and my student ID is 20234-5466. Now, let's start by discussing one of the weaknesses observed in the implementation of Mbmmbi. Despite the policy goals to uphold both languages, there has been a noticeable decrease in the proficiency level of Bahasa Malaysia among students. According to studies, there are 55.7% students in SJK Kuantan District that lack fluency in Malay speaking skills. Other than that, following the statement that was stated by Ministry of Education Fadlina Siddiq, there are students in dual language program who has failed to attain even a basic proficiency in Bahasa Melayu. Therefore, it is becoming one of the weaknesses because it hinders the first objective of the Mbmmbi. Moving on to our next weakness, language proficiency plays a crucial role in understanding technical subjects like mathematics and science. So from the policy problem, it can be seen that those subjects' results are affected. And since one of the Mbmmbi goals is bilingual proficiency, implementing this policy actually hinders student performance to achieve those. This is because the result of those subjects are still decreased. And it can be seen from the TIMSS report that Malaysia still sees drop in mathematics and science subject with a decrease of 79 and 66 points respectively, despite the implementation of the policy. Reports also indicate a 6.26% decline in scores in reading, science, and mathematics. This means that nearly half of students nearly struggle with this subject in English. So how can we address this policy problem and meet the objective when the implementation doesn't yield the desired result? So it is becoming the weaknesses of the policy. So our final weakness revolves around the issue of teacher quality. For the policy to succeed, we need well-trained teachers who can effectively teach in both English and Malay. But in order to achieve the objective of strengthening English language, English proficiency need to be focused. So there's a significant shortage of proficient teachers in the area. So some argue that the policy overlooked the importance of teacher quality, leading to hindrance in student English language development. And only 52% of Malaysia's English language teachers that are considered proficient under CEFR. And also, research shows that 75% of teachers face challenges teaching science and mathematics in English. Therefore, to overcome the lack of mastery of English teacher and strengthen English language learning, the policy should prioritize improving teacher quality, or otherwise, this weakness will persist, undermining the policy's effectiveness.
My name is SUHAILA binti DAUD and I will explain furthermore about the recommendation for the weakness. Despite the cessation of the PPSMI, there are still students in dual language program DLP schools who fail to attain basic proficiency in Bahasa Melayu. The program allows for teaching subjects in English, but the Ministry of Education emphasizes that it should not hinder other students' ability to learn Bahasa Melayu. Additionally, 55.7% of non-native students in SJK Kuantan District lack fluency in Malay speaking skills. The current teaching methods focus on examination rather than learning, leading to the low proficiency. To improve proficiency, a multifaceted approach is needed, including enhancing language programs, promoting cultural immersion, and leveraging technology. These strategies can help learners develop a strong command of Bahasa Melayu, which is crucial for their academic and professional pursuits. Next, the Malaysian Ministry of Education (MOE) has been criticized for not fully understanding the complexity of teacher quality, leading to a lack of English language proficiency among teachers. Only 52% of Malaysia's 40,000 English language teachers are graded proficient user level under the Common European Framework of Reference for Language (CEFR), indicating a significant portion of our teachers lack proficiency in English. The Ministry of Education has emphasized the need to enhance the training and placement of teachers capable of teaching science and mathematics in English. A study in Klang Selangor revealed that 75% of teachers reported encountering challenge when teaching science and mathematics in English, often missing English and Malay. Enhancing teacher quality is crucial for improving education, including professional development opportunities, mentorship programs, and effective performance evaluation system. These measures help improve the overall quality of teaching and student learning outcomes. Thirdly, Malaysia has experienced a 6.26% decrease in reading, science and mathematics score, with the COVID-19 pandemic being cited as a contributing factor. Despite the implementation of the Mbmmbi policy in 2010, Malaysia still faces significant drops in mathematics score, with a 79-point drop from 500 in 2019. The lack of consistency in the education system with the PPSMI policy alternated between English and Malay has led to confusion among students. Improving mathematics and science results is crucial for success in an increasingly technology world. Curriculum reviews, hands-on learning, and tutoring and support system can help students overcome obstacles and achieve their full potential in these subjects.
In conclusion, MBMMBI policies implemented by the Ministry of Education are significant in that elevating the Malay language and strengthening the English language. It's important to ensure that these two languages continue to grow and be used effectively in society. The solution or approaches to enhance MBMMBI policy objectives and strategies are important because it can be shown that effectiveness of this policy provides many programs that benefit every level of education. With continuous effort from various parties, the goal to unify the Malay language and strengthen the English language can definitely be achieved for mutual benefit.